What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the video. So let's get straight into the Bulwark class. I recently got my guy up to level 25, so I wanted to go through the perks that I use, the different weapons he can use, just some tips that I picked up over my time with the class. I think this is a very good beginner-friendly class, just due to his banner and his survivability. He's got a lot of defensive perks to pick from, a lot of damage reduction. His shield bash is really good for regaining armor because you get a lot of good gunshots after it. So he's just a really good overall class, I think, and definitely good for any type of beginner. So I'll go into some just basic little tips about the guy and what he can do, and then we'll go into all the weapons that he can use. We'll go through the perks. I'll tell you what perks that I used while I was leveling up, so not just my main perks that I'm using now at 25, but my perks that I was using throughout my time leveling this character, and we will just go from there. So let's get straight into some just beginner friendly tips for this character and what you can expect. Alright, so sprinting with this character means you're blocking. So if you're sprinting, it is like you're holding the LB down and you have your shield out and you are blocking all the light incoming attacks, which is very useful against anybody that is shooting at you from range. You can sprint straight towards them and you will block all the attacks until you get to them, and you can start attacking from there. So always remember that. You just basically want to be sprinting around, because that means you're holding your shield out and you're blocking all the light attacks that are coming from the front of you. Shield bash. Shield bash is extremely important to be using with this character. So that's holding down LB. That means you have your shield equipped and you hit RB once and you shield bash. So it just synergizes with a ton of the perks. You get damage reduction from it. You get damage increases from it. It's a great way to get your armor back. You knock a guy down. You knock a light enemy back. You get a gunshot. You regain your armor. One of the most efficient ways, I think, for this guy to gain his armor is using the shield bash. So you're going to want to be using the shield bash all the time. And then quickly, last one, the loadouts with this guy. If you come across the loadout, it refills his health to 100%. So it doesn't matter if your ammo's full. You don't want to change your guns. It doesn't matter. Go to it, click it, pick your first loadout if you're not trying to change your weapons, and you will get 100% life back. So those are just some quick tips to go through. Now let's get into some of the weapons you can use and which ones I found to be most beneficial. Let's go straight into the ranged weapons, because this is pretty straightforward. You only have two choices. And actually you basically only really have one choice, because you got the standard issue bolt pistol, and then you have the plasma pistol, which I find it's a easy... Let me move my face out of the way here. It's an easy choice to make, because the plasma pistol is just it seems to be so much stronger than that the bolt gun. So with the plasma pistol, it is, like I said, your range is not great with this guy, but the charge shot on this thing is extremely strong. So that's the best thing you got. You're kind of limited on ammo, because you think you're starting with 90 in the magazine, and then I usually pick the ammo one right here. It gives me 120 magazine capacity. So you would think that's a decent amount, but when you're using a charge shot, I'm pretty sure it's using 10 rounds every charge shot. So you got a magazine capacity of 120, you're getting 12 charge shots off. Now don't get me wrong, these charge shots are strong. Like if you're shooting them against like a terminus enemy or something like that, you're gonna be hitting them for a decent amount of damage. You can usually get them to execute with that in like 3 blasts or something like that, 3 or 4 blasts. So it does come in the clutch, but you're gonna want to kind of preserve your ammo for the times of need, with this character, because your ammo is not great, and the charge shot is the only thing really worth using. The basic shot on this gun is just alright. It's nothing to write home about. It's not super powerful or nothing like that. So I would recommend basically just using this for the charge shot and using it when you are getting into trouble. Alright, and now his melee weapons, which he's got more to choose from. He's got the chainsword, the power fists, and the power sword. Now, most people probably, if you're planning on sticking with this class, um, like you watched a bunch of videos on it, you're like, yeah, this is the class I'm picking. There's not really another class for me. Most people, I'm hearing, are doing the power sword. I did the chain sword because when I first started this class, I knew that when you level up one weapon with a character, it levels across all of your characters. So I noticed that 4 of the classes use the chain sword, and there's only 5 melee classes, then 4 of them use the chain sword. So I was like, okay, so if I don't like this character, I can kind of move over my chain sword to a different character that I will enjoy more. But I ended up liking the character and sticking with it, but I was so far with the chain sword I didn't really want to go back. So now I have to go back and do the power sword for sure. So when I do that, I make a video, just a real quick video update about how good the power sword is. But I'm reading that it's very good and balanced. But I know the chain sword is great for multiple enemies at once. So this is the route that I ended up taking. So that is definitely a personal preference on the melee side of things. I think all 3 are pretty good. Just get them leveled up. Once you get to relic, they're ridiculously good. So that is it for the weapons that the Bulwark can use. Like I said, decent amount of melee weapons. He's got 3 of the, I think there's only like 5 in the game. But very limited on the range side of things. So if you're somebody who wants to be sitting back shooting the whole time, this is definitely, don't pick this class. But other than that, I think he's the best melee character in the game, and the chain sword is awesome to use. So there's that. Let's go into some of the perks. Core perks. Conviction. That is the first perk you get, and it's probably the best perk that you get, honestly. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 5 seconds. As you see, I'm level 25, and I'm still using this level 1 perk, so it is very good. So right when you go to red health, you got 25% damage reduction. The next perk you unlock is Armor of Contempt. When you block a ranged attack, enemies within 10-meter radius take the damage instead. It's an okay one. I used it over shock and awe, so I used this one until I unlocked the 3rd perk. Okay, next you get is Defensive Advantage. A perfectly timed parry creates a shock area for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 30 seconds. I switched this one as soon as I could into the second one. Unyielding Thermite. Delay before armor begins to passively regenerate is reduced by 5 seconds for all squad members. That one is not bad, and I did use it. Let me see. Begins to passively regenerate is reduced. Yeah, I used that until I unlocked this one. Okay, Concussive Force. Shield Bash deals more damage. I used that one until I unlocked the 3rd one, because I am a big fan of the Shield Bash. Next up, Purity of Purpose. The banner deals a small amount of damage over time to enemies within the area of effect. I switched to the second one as soon as I could. Rejuvenating Effect. When the banner is activated, it revives incapacitated squad members within the area of effect. I switched to the second one as soon as I could on that one as well. Okay, signature. Your first signature is when your armor is depleted, a reserve shock grenade automatically detonates at your position. Cooldown is 120 seconds. The 120 second cooldown kind of sucks because it's 2 minutes, but it is actually really good when you do drop that thing. It feels pretty nice. So I actually used this one over this second perk until I unlocked the 3rd perk there. Alright, so the next perk after that, the next core perk you're getting is Intimidating Aura. A perfectly timed parry deals area of effect damage within a 5-meter radius. I never switched off of Conviction, so I didn't use this perk. Shock and Awe. Enemies in a shock area take 25% more damage. Like I said earlier, I continued to use Armor of Contempt. I didn't use the second one, I went straight to the 3rd one. Steel Within. When your health is less than 50%, you take 25% less health damage. I still use this perk over everything else at level 25. The next team one is Advanced Conditioning. Contested health fades 50% more slowly for all squad members. I stuck with the first one until I unlocked the 3rd one. I did not use this one. Your next one is Rapid Regeneration. The banner restores 300% faster, but its duration is reduced to 5 seconds. Yeah, I used the Concussive Force one. Just because there's no way I'm wanting my banner to last 5 seconds less. Even for the armor, I didn't find it worth it. So until I unlocked the third one, I stuck with the first one. Merciless Resolve. After a shield bash, you do not lose... What does it say? You do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 5 seconds. I'm using that one still now at level 25. Glory Shield. All squad members within the banner's area of effect take 10% less damage. I'm using that still at level 25. And then your next signature is Defensive Mastery. A perfectly timed parry instantly incapacitates. Cooldown is 120 seconds. So yeah, I didn't use that one, so I stayed at the first one until I unlocked the third perk. I did like the shock grenade. I just wish it was a little faster. Okay, we're almost there. Last core perks. After a shield bash, melee damage is increased by 25% for 5 seconds. Now, this is a preference. You know, that's up to you. You can do 25% more damage or have 25% damage reduction. I 100% think they should have swapped these two, because I think the damage reduction for this character is 100% better than the increased damage. So, personal preference, but I'm definitely going with the damage reduction for myself. Scramble targeting. If you are surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from ranged attacks. With all the other damage reductions you're getting, plus you attack that one on, you know, it's a lot. So that one's nice. Armor reinforcement. A non-finisher gun strike also restores armor. I couldn't pick it over this. I still think this steel within is better. Your health is less. When it's less than 50%, you take 25% less health damage. Effective formation. All squad members take 20% less health damage from terminus level enemies. That's the one I'm rolling with. I switched to that perk right when I could. Focus strength. Shield bash knocks enemies back and makes them lose control for a longer period of time. Yeah, anything with the shield bash. You're not really using the shield bash for damage, so that's definitely why you don't want to go with the damage one. This one's really nice because the longer period of time is you get a good amount of time to get some attacks in. The next one is Invigorating Icon. When the banner is activated, all squad members regain maximum contested health. Look, I tried to use this. I didn't have any luck. I don't know if I wasn't placing it close enough to them or what it was. Nobody was getting their contested health back, so I don't know if that is bugged or kind of really what it is. But I don't think, let me see, after shield bash, you do this. Yeah, either way, I wouldn't pick it over this. I'm still picking this one. Inspiration. All squad members within the banner's area of effect deal 10% more damage. It's really hard to stay in the area effect of the banner. So, I mean, even for the less damage one, it's hard to stay in there. And the last one, if you have armor remaining, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. Huge, best one out of these three for sure. So, yep, those are the perks. I think he's got some really good defensive perks, and this is my setup for what I'm at 25. So you can kind of go from there and pick how you want to go, but you can set this guy up in a couple different ways. It's all defensive based, though. I don't think you're really going to get damage outputs compared to some other characters, but he's still a lot of fun to play. And we can finish with the chapter banner, which is this character's special. I think it's one of the most powerful in the game. It is a lifesaver. It comes in handy so many different times. It restores armor to all squad members in the area of effect. It has a pretty big area effect. You can synchronize some of your perks with it. It is just overall a very powerful tool to have in your kit, and will save you from getting overwhelmed basically at the end of missions. So I think every team should want a Bulwark in their class. So I think this is, like I said, it is a great beginner class. The survivability alone is fantastic, and I think most people have a lot of fun with it. So I'm interested to hear what other people who play this class think of it, and what class I should try out next. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope I catch you guys on another one. Yeah, I'm about to get into some more Space Marines too, man. Everybody have a great weekend.